Hi again, everybody. If you're new here, I'm Candace, single mom of two and recent homeowner. Yay! Um, One of the big things that really came up for me that was noteworthy during my home buying process was what they don't tell you about the impact of student loans on buying a home. So I had always wondered why I couldn't qualify, right? I was actually the last in my friend group to buy a house. So all of my friends were able to qualify and buy a house, and all of my friends made less than me. On paper, they all had, 50, 60,000, maybe as high as 80,000 on W-2s and maybe 1099s, that kind of thing, in order to qualify for their home loans. I'm not sure if they use conventional or FHA, but they were all able to qualify. And I had attempted to qualify for homes previously, before qualifying for this home, and I would get to a point where they would tell me student loans don't affect your credit, and so I would qualify credit wise as far as like the, I don't know, six something that you need for FHA or for conventional mortgage. I would qualify credit wise, and then they would go into underwriting and simply tell me I don't qualify. My income wasn't high enough. And they didn't explain any further, and I didn't understand why my income wasn't high enough. What do you mean? Like I clearly qualified to pay this mortgage. Like um, during this underwriting process, I discovered that even if you have like a income driven repayment plan, so your payments are smaller, or if you're in deferment or forbearance or any of those kinds of situations where you don't actually have a payment, or like I said, maybe a small one, the loan companies, the mortgage companies, don't care what you actually pay on your student loans. What they care about is what is the potential payment. And so for me, my student loans are quite extensive. I have a lot of student loans. And so because of that, they factor in something like a 1% of the total balance as your payment every month. Something around that, somewhere between 0.5% and 1% of your total balance. And they factor that in to your debt to income ratio. And therefore, your income has to show that not only can you cover the mortgage that you're applying for, but also this phantom payment. And I say it like that because it seems very unfair to me. It seems wrong that I am being charged, so to speak, for a bill that doesn't actually exist. And so because of this excessive student loan that I have, it made it very, very difficult for me to qualify. I had to show income well over $100,000 a year in order for me to qualify. And just to kind of put it into perspective for you all, my student loan balance is more than the cost of this home. So I owe more in student loans by probably 100 grand than the cost to purchase this multi-family property. So just to again put that into perspective for everybody, just the cost of education in America. That, like I said, I am on an income driven repayment plan, and so I am able to manage my student loan payments as well as my mortgage payments. And again, having the income producing tenant next door makes a very big difference. And so I just really wanted to kind of point that out to everybody, just to keep in mind how that does impact buying a home with student loans. I know that, maybe a lot of people have student loans and might be in that situation as well, and wondering why they're not able to qualify. Because if you don't get to the point, or if you don't get close enough to the point of being qualified, they don't even tell you why you didn't. And so that might be an issue for some folks. So it doesn't affect your credit. That is true. Your credit will still, increase and grow and all of that good stuff. I'd like to, happily announce that from the 480 in 2005, 2006, I am now at 706. Yay! Which I didn't even think was possible. I remember when she told me that my credit was 706, I said, are you sure you have the right person? You sure you have the right Candace? I know that there's a middle initial. Are you sure that the middle initial? I was checking everything because I thought there was just absolutely no possible way that I was anywhere near the 700 club. And so I just wanted to take a minute and talk to you all about how student loans can affect trying to buy a house. And so thanks, follow along, and hopefully we'll have some more good stuff coming up. And like I said, I'm probably going to talk a little bit more about the mobile homes that I bought. And, that again is another way to build wealth before being able to, get your brick and mortar. So thanks. Follow